Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. So a little update for you, viewers. The Pan American Health Organization officially handed over telehealth kits and desktop computer to the Ministry of Health on Tuesday as part of an initiative to strengthen maternal and child health program. The equipment, valued at 280,000 TT or 41,000 US equivalent, will support two critical areas: eliminating mother-to-child transmission of HIV and other diseases, and expanding the telehealth service to undeserved communities. Speaking at the ceremony on Tuesday morning, Health Minister Dr. Lakram Bodo noted that the telehealth kit will allow doctors to perform a range of assessments in rural areas. Listen to this.
These all-in-one portable units will bring high-quality healthcare to rural and remote areas, enabling services such as cardiovascular assessments, prenatal ultrasounds, and the diagnosis of communicable diseases like tuberculosis. In a small island developing state like ours, this means that distance will no longer determine the quality of care a patient receives.
Also, viewers, Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander says he knows nothing about a U.S. warship in TNT waters, despite videos shown in international media. Alexander says the U.S. presence in international waters benefit the people of Trinidad and Tobago in the fight against drugs and human trafficking. He was speaking at a reporter on Wednesday. Listen to this.
I have seen no ship. Nobody have sent any ship to me. So the only way I can answer that is I have no idea if there's a ship there. You see? If I saw a ship there and you see me present, then you ask me about the ship. I don't know. I have no answers for that as it stands because I know I haven't seen any ship.
Viewers, on Tuesday, satellite imagery depicted what appears to be at least 3 U.S. military vessels surrounding Trinidad. One of it on the northern coast and 2 within the Gulf of Paria. The satellite also captured what is believed to be 2 U.S. warships within the Gulf of Paria. So Trinidad and Tobago, let's just say something. Let's just say something. If the warship is in international waters or in Caribbean waters, it's all well and good. If it is in the Trinidad and Tobago waters, well then that is something different. So is Alexander telling us that there is no warship in the Trinidad and Tobago waters? That is what we need to find out. So hopefully during the course of this program, we're going to let you know if there are warships in Trinidad and Tobago waters, or is it in the Gulf? Is it on international waters? Thus far, they have located ships in the Gulf of Paria. Is it Trinidad and Tobago waters? This is what we need to find out before we go spreading rumors and rumors of wars. So, straight into our current affairs segment, Trinidad and Tobago. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has rejected social media claim that Central Division officers were disarmed, pulled from an investigation, and escorted to the police administration building after attempts to intercept a barrel allegedly containing guns and ammunition in El Socorro on Wednesday. Speaking to reporters earlier today, Assistant Commissioner of Police Kurt Simon said no such confrontation occurred and no officers were disarmed or removed from duty. He explained it was a blue-on-blue scenario when 2 teams of police unknowingly moved in the same El Socorro warehouse.
What happened today was a basic routine intelligence exercise just that it involved two separate units in the police service having very similar intelligence, and they were both operating around the same time at the same place. And it is what we call a blue on blue situation. And it's nothing to be alarmed about. It does occur from time to time in different policing jurisdictions. The matter has been resolved, and in fact the both set of officers, the matter being resolved, the both set of officers, we are all going back now to complete that operation.
So now viewers, he said the officers will be commended for their action earlier today.
The officers, they were in my office earlier on, and they were all commended for the actions that they took this morning and continue to take. You know, we encourage our officers to continue that sort of diligent work that they are doing in not just gathering intelligence, but operating on those actionable intelligence.
Meanwhile, the TTPS is urging citizens to be cautious of false information, especially through social media platforms, and said it could hamper further TTPS operation. Here it is.
It just goes to show how dangerous social media could be, and I just suggest that the persons who are posting should verify whatever, the information that they have before posting it, because it can go viral quite quickly. It could cause some damage to our investigation, but we are still continuing, as ACP Simon said, we are continuing with our investigation, and we will be there to ensure that everything goes smoothly.
So what I want to find out is, if there is false information on social media about a raid, a police raid, how would that hamper other operations? I'm just asking a question. I'm just asking a question to the officers. How would that hamper an operation? Because an operation, a TTPS operation, assignments, raid, arrest, or detained, and after that, then information will start coming out into the public. Well, there was a raid in El Socorro. 4 people was arrested. 3 charged. 10 detained. It's only after the operation news will break. So how could this hamper an operation? I don't know. I guess they have a method of doing things or finding out things. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago. Switching, yes. Energy Minister Dr. Ruda Munilal has fired back to former Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali, accusing him of generating propaganda and creating mischief as a strategy to announce his re-entry into political arena. Munilal also made it clear that there has never been any discussion regarding the sale of Paria fuel trading or its asset.
I believe 2019, it was in 2019 that the PNM had put out a RFP for the sale of Paria, and then went sheepishly and embarrassingly and pulled it back. There has never been any talk by the United National Congress about the sale of Paria trading or its assets. We have always spoken about reopening the refinery, and therefore that matter does not arise. Dr. Rowley is still trying to generate propaganda and mischief and to make really couture in the national space.
So, Trinidad and Tobago, the minister described Rowley's comment as irresponsible and calculated to create panic among the citizens. Now, we never hear anything about Paria being for sale. Never. We never heard that. We never heard the UNC saying that. We never heard the PNM saying that. So I really want to know now how Dr. Rowley could come out and say such thing. The refinery was shut down. They reorganized Paria, and that's how it goes. what the UNC wants to do is probably restart the refinery or look for a buyer for the refinery. That is in the making. That is in the making. He criticized Rowley's suggestion that energy installation could be at risk given U.S. initiatives in the Caribbean. Now, Munilal said, multinationals already have detailed contingency plans. He reiterated multinational corporations overseeing offshore installations are accustomed to such tension and have well-established protocols in place. Munilal discussed the Rowley-led government record saying under former Energy Minister Stuart Young, 13 energy plants were closed, resulting in a low oil and gas production in generations. But nevertheless, viewers, I am sure that there will be more to this in the coming days, and we would know exactly what is taking place. Now, I heard somebody say that there's a former Prime Minister office. For the last few days, I've been noticing that a lot of people has been talking about the former Prime Minister office. Let me tell you something. We in Trinidad here, we love too much of bacchanal. That is what we love. Too much of bacchanal in this country. We are hardly bent on fixing the country. Fixing yourself. Fixing your community. We are more bent on bacchanal. False news. Labeling. That is what we are more bent on. But can we come together as a community to fix our community? Can we do that? Or are we harboring fugitives in our community? Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something. In the coming weeks, we will be close to the Christmas season. Or Christmas, as we should say. Now, we know around Christmas time, there's a lot of pickpocketers on the streets. There's a lot of robbery taking place. So what we need to do, as a community, we need to come together to make sure that the community is safe. You all need to work with the police because kidnapping start back. Housebreaking start back. And it's because why? No jobs, no money. And that is something that is starting to escalate back in Trinidad and Tobago. So coming to the Christmas season, viewers, please be safe outside there. Carnival is around the corner also. Please be safe outside there. You need to work together as a community, as one people, whether you're black or you're white. Nevertheless, we are going for a short commercial break, but still locked on. When we come back, Ramnarine, TNT can cope without dragon gas. More when we return.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? speak with a representative at our Central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our South branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, remember we at Real Talk Financing, we are offering you 5% on our fixed deposit, viewers. Remember, nobody does it like Real Talk Financing. Also, if you're looking for cash loan, not a problem. Contact our office, 238-6716, viewers, from 8:30 to 4:30. Our officers are there at the desk to answer your call and give you whatever answers that you would be asking. So viewers, our numbers on screen, we have South Office and Central Office. Also remember, Real Talk Financing, 5%, your interest up front. So if you have a large sum of money in the bank and you don't want to take it out for the Christmas season, not a problem. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Financing and you can get your interest up front to spend for the Christmas. Who does it? Real Talk Financing. So, former Energy Minister Kelvin Ramnarine says, while tension with Venezuela are escalating, Trinidad and Tobago can still progress even if the Dragon gas deals falls through. Listen to Kevin.
If we don't get gas from Venezuela, it is not the end of the world for Trinidad and Tobago. I am of the view that there still resides within our geography, within our geology, significant reserves of natural gas which we are yet to discover, or which have been discovered and have to be developed. And I think that if we double down and we focus on developing our own resources and reserves, then it's not the end of the world, and our natural gas sector will continue to move forward.
So Trinidad and Tobago, he also added that the natural gas levels are expected to improve by late 2027 and notes that Venezuela oil industry has effectively collapsed. Ramnarine was referring to a recent statement by former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley on energy matters and rising tension between the US and Venezuela. Rowley's statement was aimed at countering what he calls widespread misinformation surrounding the status of the force agreement, the SOFA, which he renewed with Washington in December 2024. Rowley insisted that the agreement contained no provision for regime change, military intervention, or any foreign military base on TNT soils. Oh, Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this now.
I want here this morning, for the benefit of every citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, as the former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and Chairman of the National Security Council, and the person who sat and spoke with Americans throughout my term, that there's absolutely nothing in the Status of Forces Agreement to permit any commitment from Trinidad and Tobago to breach the UN Charter to intervene military in any of our neighbors or anywhere in the world. Absolutely not so at all. Anybody from the government saying that, it is a lie.
So Trinidad and Tobago, what is the truth now? What is the truth? Because we in the media understand that the document he signed, the US force could be dropped in Trinidad at any point in time. At any point in time. Now they are training our defense force presently. So what is the truth really? Rowley insisted the agreement contained no provisions for regime change, military intervention, or any foreign military base on Trinidad and Tobago soil. And this is something that was renewed. Rowley also painted a scenario in which critical energy infrastructure 60 miles off the coast could be exposed should tension escalate. He said, with no Navy or Coast Guard in Trinidad and Tobago capable of defending these installations, he said the country is dangerously and vulnerably exposed. Listen to this.
We are dependent on gas from platforms 60 miles out there. We don't have a Navy that could protect us. We don't have a Coast Guard that could even stand out there to be present to hail anybody who's coming at us. That's a vulnerability of the worst kind. And if that becomes part of the proceedings, not by missiles being fired at us, not by bombs being fired at us, but just by a credible threat to those platforms, Trinidad and Tobago is now in a current against which we cannot swim.
Rowley added that international energy companies would not hesitate to evacuate personals if the platform were deemed potential targets, triggering an immediate collapse of national energy production. Listen to Rowley.
Because if a threat like that comes to us, a credible threat, that those platforms are in fact legitimate targets, those international companies will do one thing. They'll remove their staff from the platform. And once the staff comes off the platform, most of those platforms are manned. Once they come off the platform, it shuts down the gas supply to Trinidad and Tobago. What the hell are we doing? Engaging ourselves and encouraging military action against our friendly neighbors, nearest friendly neighbor, even if we happen to agree with what America is doing and so on. Where did you see Trinidad and Tobago's interests?
For a former prime minister, he should have known, number one, don't do business with a sanctioned country. As a prime minister, you would know this. And make it more worse, he was the chair of the National Council for Security. But what did they do? They dealt business with a sanctioned country. Now he wants to talk about if an emergency takes place, those international companies on the platform, if they evacuate the oil and gas that comes to Trinidad and Tobago, we are at risk. So when they were doing business with a sanctioned country, he didn't think about that. If we get sanctioned, what would happen? Didn't he and Stuart Young think about that? So I am asking Dr. Rowley this now. When you were doing business with Maduro, didn't you know he was a sanctioned country you were dealing with? It's sad, you know. It's sad. You want to talk about the U.S. Marine in Trinidad, but you signed the document. You signed the document. But your friend Maduro now targeting Kamala. Kamala did not renew it. What Maduro not understanding is that the man from Trinidad who called Dr. Rowley, who is out of the political arena now, was the man who renewed it. It's sad. It's sad that you're playing the game on this side with a sanctioned country, but you're flipping the script on this side to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. It's just sad. Nevertheless, viewers, at the end of the day, the U.S. military, the U.S. naval, they are in Trinidad training the defense staff right now. TNT soldiers, they are training them. Ask Dr. Rowley, when last did the U.S. Marine come to Trinidad to train the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force soldiers in our country? When last did that happen? They are upgrading technology. They are teaching them survivals. They are teaching them combat. They are teaching them about medical supplies. So our Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force soldiers are being upgraded. Did it happen under Dr. Rowley, 9 years in Trinidad and Tobago, Prime Minister? No, it did not happen. It did not happen. But nevertheless, viewers, we're going to stick up in on that for our next day. Public Service Association President Felicia Thomas is again accusing the Chief Personnel Officer of stalling the 10% wage negotiation and is now asking if he has been given a mandate to block public servants from getting their back pay by Christmas. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saeed. Great program as usual.
Thank you, my friend.
What Rowley should be doing is staying quiet right now. He out of it. When he had his opportunity to make this country a better place,
he didn't do it.
He didn't do it. This revitalization and reform should have happened years ago.
Correct.
And it didn't happen. Nothing started. So Rowley, just enjoy your retirement. Stay quiet now. Let people do what they have to do now to reform this country and carry it forward. And Mr. Saeed, this fella they call Gavarro, nobody in this country is going to work with him or pass information to any police officer as it is right now, you know. You saw what happened today. Everybody know what happened today at the custom bun. And they use SOE to go there to remove items. That can't happen without custom officers' presence there at the warehouse.
Correct.
Correct. You don't know that? So I want to see what he's going to do with those police officers. He might reward them. And no citizen in this country to date is going to give any information to the police service because Gavarro, the horse gone out the stable. You should have done that. Your first agenda in this country should be pleading with the citizen and assuring the citizen that you're going to clean up the police service from the criminals in there and pleading with the citizens to work with the police. You know what he should have done? He should have set up his own database where the citizens of this country could use this dashboard cam, rear cam, and so on, and send information direct to him. Gavara, giving you information, and we giving you, listen to Real Talk, you will learn how to move the police service forward. And right now, as it is in this country, we are at a very sad state. Nobody sharing intelligence with us. I don't care what they say. I have intelligence. Nobody is sharing intelligence with us, the international community. And Madam Prime Minister, if you want to see national security fix, remove that fella they call Gavara, put the man who's supposed to be there. The man who's supposed to be there, who they arrested, is Hernandez. And put him there, you will see a big change in the police service and the security of this country. Mr. Said, God bless you. You are blessed to have a program like this and a platform. This country will fix. God bless you and your staff, Mr. Said.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, in a video posted to social media on Tuesday evening titled, "Who is Standing in the Way of Our Back Pay Before Christmas?" the chief personal obstructionist, Thomas, revealed she has been invited to a meeting on November 21st. However, she informed her members that the meeting is not to commence negotiation. Felicia.
It was an invitation to a presentation on the state of the economy. Needless to say, comrades, you are aware, I am aware of the state of the economy. And I don't understand why the CPO's office is behaving as though we are now commencing negotiations. We are not now starting. We are in the middle of negotiations.
So now, viewers, the PSA president said in the view, negotiations began in April 2022 and a state of the economy was present then. Now she said the PSA wants to focus on the 10% offer which the finance minister directed CPO Commander Dr. Daryl Dindial to put on the bargaining table. Listen to this one now.
What is the issue? What is the problem that all of you have with ensuring that public officers are well taken care of? You want to take care of yourselves, but forget about public officers. The very same public officers that you're relying on, you know. The very same public officers that you rely on, you are delaying. For what reason? I don't know. Maybe you have some mandates that workers are not aware of. Maybe your mandate is not to let public officers get the money by Christmas.
So viewers, she urged Commander Dindial to stop delaying the process, noting he already received his 47% salary increase under the former government acceptance of the Salary Review Commission's recommendation. Well, hey, Dindial, you got 47% increase too? Well, you had to be slack if you had started the 10% negotiation. Listen to the video, viewers.
Prepare your speaking points, your notes, your discussion on 10%, because that is what we will be coming to discuss. 10% and nothing else. Public officers' negotiations is of utmost importance. It is to me, and it has to be of utmost importance to you.
Call a good night.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Saeed. Great show as normal, man, and good night to you and your listeners and your team.
Thank you, my friend.
3 quick things, Mr. Saeed. Mr. Saeed, we no longer, citizens of this country, want to hear anything that Keith Rowley has to say. He is in the past. He has to stay in the past. I wish the day will come where Real Talk will stop highlighting what he has to say. He is not even in the opposition, so he has no say. He's out of it. So we is not to take on anything that he say anymore. We don't want to hear anything he say anymore. That one. 2, Mr. Saeed, nobody needs to tell the citizens of this country how corrupted the police force is. We had known that even before this government came into power.
Yeah.
Even before the last government leave. Even if this was the government before, you remember when Madam Dana Sitahal in this country? Listen, this thing happened a long time. We don't need nobody to come in here and give us no false information. We know what the facts. That is why Trinidad citizens have no trust on anybody in the police force at all. Mr. Saeed, if you ask on the ground floor of Trinidad and Tobago, who is the biggest crook in Trinidad and Tobago, you will surprised to know what position that person holds in this government. He are, because the citizens is who he deal with. So we know. Okay, that is 2. 3, quick. Madam Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, you had promised workers that if we run to you and vote for you, that we will see a better Christmas. Madam Prime Minister, Christmas is only 4 weeks to 6 weeks from now.
Yes.
And the workers of this country have nothing. Nothing. We want you to know that we made a change because of your promise. And we have nothing, Madam Prime Minister. And Mr. Saeed, thank you so very much for having a show like this, so that we can voice our opinion for people to hear, because I know how effective your show is. You have a good night, sir.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, we're having a fast short commercial break, but when we come back, San Fernando honors 3 long-standing individuals. More when we return.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So welcome back, viewers. 3 distinguished citizens and a long-standing business were honored with key to the city of San Fernando during an annual civic award ceremony on Wednesday. This year, recipients were steel pan and a Guinness World Record holder, Joshua Rogrello, former Minister of Trade, Diane Sukaran, chutney artist, Imran G.I. Bihari, and the historic J.E. Guides Funeral Home, which has served San Fernando since 1945. Rogrello, the youngest honoree, says the recognition felt super real.
Earlier today, they unveiled a photograph, a plaque of me on the promenade, and he spoke about when he was younger, he would walk on the promenade, he come there online, and I also did that in my time. You come on the promenade, you check heels, and so it's crazy to, especially at this young age, to see myself on the promenade. And I think what this and that plaque shows is that the city of San Fernando honors their own.
So now, viewers, Sukaran praised Rogrello's achievement and noted that her own success was made possible through collaboration, expressing gratitude to those who supported her journey.
To get this, it wasn't me. It was teamwork. It was everybody joining together to allow me to be who I became. And so I wanted to say thank you to every one of them, publicly and personally.
Also, Bihari described the honor as one of the most meaningful recognition he could receive, saying it held a deeper value than any award or outside of Trinidad and Tobago.
Today is truly an honor. To stand here and receive the keys to the city of San Fernando is one of the greatest recognitions I could ever imagine. San Fernando is not just a place on a map for me. It's home. It is my heart. It is heritage. This city has been instrumental in shaping me, supporting me, and inspiring me. And I am deeply humbled to be acknowledged in this way.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we want to congratulate them tonight and wish them more love and success comes their way. Moving along, Member for Parliament for St. Augustine and Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, Khadija Amin, says she remains on the ground even though she now has a ministerial portfolio. Speaking at a disaster relief grant distribution ceremony for families within the St. Augustine region on Monday, she said, being at the ministry allowed her to respond more efficiently and to see any potential roadblocks to providing service to her constituency. She noted that the results are already being seen. Listen to this.
This is the first time in a long time that we have had this type of response so soon. The flood was in June, and we are in November, and we are here with some of our flood victims. In the past, we would wait for a year or more. Sometimes you're not even sure if we will get a call. So this is a good sign.
Call good night.
Good night, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead.
I just wanted to inform these PSA workers that while they think they have a problem, they don't have a problem. The people will give them the 10%. They just have to wait. It's only a little more than 6 months that they are in power. Now, while them backing up there for 10% wage and back pay, it has contract workers. When the contract up, they're not getting it renewed. So they're getting a raise based on the contractors, on the back of the contractors. That's all I want to say, Sai. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, meanwhile, Minister of the People's Social Development and Family Service, Vandana Mohit, said, this is the first of many such exercises the ministry will be embarking on in the flood-affected Tunapuna region, but not only one across the country. Minister Mohit announced that a new era of fairness, accuracy, and transparency has arrived for relief and resetting.
In the past, arrived when the need had already deepened into distress. But this administration is determined to break with that history. When you needed us, we acted swiftly. When you reached out, we responded. When you called for help, we showed up. That is what people-centered governance demands.
So we want to congratulate them in the 6 months they are in office. Work is starting to move. Progress is hitting the road now. Let's see what will happen in another 6 months to come. That will make it 1 year. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we return, before we go to that break, I almost forgot. Today is International Men's Day. So the men in Trinidad, in Tobago, and around the world, I mean, some might say it is late, a few hours to midnight for International Men's Day to be over. But we want to be recognized as hardworking individuals in society. We want to be recognized as husband taking care of the wife and children. We want to be recognized as a brother taking care of our sister and dad, maybe the mom at the elderly age. We want to be recognized as a businessman in our country, in society. We want to be recognized as a loving human being who takes care of others. So to the men in Trinidad and Tobago, happy International Men's Day from Saieed and the Real Talk Group. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but stay locked on. More when we return.
We'll be right back.